Good evening, sir.
Very
Good
good evening, sir.
evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening
Good
to
evening,
all.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to all. Sir, now we may start the meeting.
Yes, please.
If you kindly allow.
Yes, please.
This time, Dr. Nachiket Kotwaliwale, sir, Director, Indian Institute of Maize Research, and Ms. R.C. Jain ji from Grain Ethanol Manufacturing Association. We, on the behalf of IMR and on the behalf of all participants in this training, we eagerly welcome all of you on this digital platform, and especially both of you, and we look forward for your guidance. So before I hand over to the Roman Sharma for his opening remarks about the training and about the participants, I will just request all of you that you join by your own name, which is being mentioned in the training program. Okay, at the time of registration. Okay, so that we can record your attendance properly. Now I request Dr. Roman, please brief about the training program and about the participants.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the ICAR-IIMR Ludhiana, I welcome again to the 21 days online training program on maize in Indian economy, from production to consumption, being conducted from 24th of June, that is today, to 14th July 26. The program has been designed to provide a comprehensive understanding of the entire maize value chain, from production technologies to industry utilization, from entrepreneurship development and emerging business opportunities in the maize value chain. Why this program is needed is that we all know that maize is an emerging crop, one of the fastest growing crop in India, and its utilization on its demand has been increasing from different sectors, taking feed industry, poultry industry, food processing industry, starch, and we all know about bioethanol industries. And the second is that maize production has been significantly increased over the last decade, and it is expected to play a critical role in food security, industrial growth, renewable energies, and farmers' income enhancement. And the training aims to bridge the gap between the research, industry, policy, and entrepreneurship by bringing them together in these particular platforms. The objective is to provide all the participants a holistic understanding of the maize value chain. And over the next 21 days, we will be learning about the latest technologies on maize breeding, cultivation practices, mechanization, post-harvest management, industry applications, and emerging opportunities in across the maize value chains. And we will be also promoting about entrepreneurship and value chain opportunities in these sectors. And regarding the program, sir, the curriculum about this program will be broadly divided into five sections, I should say: genetics and cultivation practices, mechanization and post-harvest management, industry utilization, entrepreneurship and value additions, market linkages and value chains. And for this particular, the expert will be from different organizations, research institutions, universities, from industries, and from policy organizations also. Comprising about the participants, we have received a good response from different sectors. About 214 has registered for this particular training programs, and they are from different sectors, including researchers, from young professional students, also from seed sectors. They have enrolled about 17%. They have enrolled, and industry professional also. They have enrolled about 50% of the total is from industry sectors, extension personnel, KVK, active scientists, and also from entrepreneurship, FPC, their farmers organization, self-help group also, they have registered for this particular training program. And regarding the participant, they are also from different disciplines also. And from different states, about 20 from participants are from 20 states, including 2 union territories, sir. And coming to the this one, sir, expected outcome by the end of this training program, we expect the participants will gain a deeper understanding of the modern improved maize technologies, industry application, and emerging market opportunities of the maize. And as we embark on this 21 days journey, sir, we hope that the program will provide a valuable knowledge, encourage meaningful interactions, and create new opportunities for collaboration across the maize value chain. And we thanks everyone, especially the participant, for their enthusiastic participations, and wish you a productive, engaging, and enriching training experience. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Roman, for providing overview about the training, its objectives, and what kind of the lectures we are going to have in this. I just want to further, add on, something. We are having research and academic professional about 62, then seed sector personnel 38, industry personnel 33, which are from the feed, bioethanol, and others. Extension personnel from state and central government are 18, and then rest are the others participants. And we are having around 15 different discipline or the different background people who are participating in it. So we'll be having enriching experience not only from the experts but also from the people who are working across the sectors. So we look forward for your active engagement and participation. So moving forward, I request Mrs. Arusi Jain, Joint Secretary for the Grain Ethanol Manufacturing Association, JEMA, for her special as a special guest. We request you to please provide something about the role of maize in bioenergy, retrospect and prospects. Ms. Jain, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, IMR ICAR team. You're really doing great work. I'm really proud of such a dedicated teamwork on the field, which brings enhanced knowledge to our farmers who are able to produce very effective grain. And that is the main raw material for all the businesses which GMA members do. Today, I am representing Grain Ethanol Manufacturers Association. I am holding the position of Joint Secretary with GMA. Apart from that, I am Joint Managing Director with Gulshan Polyols, that is a starch derivatives and ethanol producing company. So if we see that for Gulshan Polyols and for GMA members and for members of ISMA, maize is the backbone of our processing industries. So maize is a wonder crop. It's a golden crop. It's a gold crop. It is a high value addition crop which is for industrialized nation. So far in our country, maize was being used by poultry for murgi dana. But now it is not murgi dana anymore. It is a serious industrial feedstock. It's a raw material on which the industries depend upon. It is a raw material upon which the Indian economy depends upon. The fuel economy, because we are proudly substituting imported fuel, and this uh, import substitute directly reaches the farmers of our country. It is an extremely enriching crop which does not go directly into human consumption. It is a crop of the industrialized world. That is where corn, maize indicates the amount of maize grown in a country, in my opinion, is an indication of its industrialization, because it is not going into humans consumption so much. There is only so much poultry will consume, and after that it is about industrialization. USA, a highly industrialized nation, China, a highly industrialized nation, and all of these nations are a major corn producer, maize producer, and consumers. They convert maize starch into high value added products. So, if we see the ethanol blending petroleum program, definitely directly consumed, became a buyer for the maize. The maize is a backbone for these programs. And if we see that due to ethanol program, which the maize in ethanol program was introduced recently, and the viable pricing for ethanol from maize was introduced in January 2023. Since January 2023 to June 2026, we have come a long way in these 3 years. The market consumption of maize by ethanol industry is 12 million metric ton per year, as we all know. At the same time, India grows into a large industrialized nation, not only in EBPP, it also becomes a major producer of starch derivatives. There is starch derivatives is first of all the native starch by itself. Then there are from that starch we make value added products by enzymatic reactions of the native starch, which could be glucose, which could be maltose, it could be dextrins, polyols, and so on. And this industry has also grown to consume 12 million metric ton per year. The starch industry is also now sizing to a consumption of 12 million metric ton of maize per year. This is also a very good indication that 12 million metric ton for ethanol, 12 million metric ton for starch, a composite 24 million metric ton consumption we see in these two industries. And these two industries are directly uh, actually working on a global playing field. And how it will become competitive and how the consumption of maize will increase in these two industries is by having a competitive pricing of raw material. So, yes, we have a concern on final selling price of maize. However, productivity of maize has to improve so that it becomes globally competitive. Because when we get a globally competitive price of maize, that is when we are able to produce value addition derivatives from maize, which are globally competent, and we are able to compete in the global market. If the global price of maize will not be competent, then we will not be able to increase our consumption. The consumption will remain to the extent of domestic consumption only, where the non-GMO, the GMO is an import barrier, and the landed price, where the price of imported maize in India becomes incompetent. So, the productivity must increase for the consumption to increase. When the maize price reduces in cost, that's when the consumption will also increase. The exports of maize will increase into other neighboring countries, and so the productivity has to increase. And as we all know, one of the basic ways of increasing productivity is through irrigation, but that's not my topic. My topic is to talk about in the industrialized country and the market projections and what makes the consumption grow. So I think I have been able to give a reasonable picture on how we are looking at the forecast.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you for giving overview and setting tone for this 21 days training program, which will give the idea why we require more maize and your idea about the industrialized nations. Maize is a symbol of having industrialized nations. We'll be remembering throughout the these 21 days and beyond of it. Okay, thank you so much
We wish you
for
all the
your
best,
special.
Dr. Jat. We wish you all the
Yeah,
best for a successful training program because your training really matters to us. We are direct beneficiaries. Industries are directly dependent on the way you train, and there is a significant difference that you make through these trainings. So thank you very much, and all the
thank
best to
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining and appreciating our efforts. It's a joint effort from all of us, especially the ethanol industry and many other industries, especially from feed and others. They have, we could able to achieve this much grain surplus in a very shortest period of the time possible. So planning together is always good. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now
you.
I would request our Director IMR, Dr. Nachiket Kotwaliwale sir, for his chairman address on the inauguration of this 21 days training program. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jack. At the outset, I welcome everybody. I welcome Ms. Arushi Jain, who is a Joint Secretary of GEMA and also comes from the industrial background. I welcome the organizers of this training program, Dr. S.L. Jat, Dr. Roman Sharma, Dr. Mamta Gupta, and Dr. Deep Mohan Mahala. So I compliment them for thinking of this type of online training program for the benefit of all the stakeholders. So I'm very sure that during next 21 days, all the enthusiasts of maize will be coming daily, will be taking advantage of different talks that will be delivered on different aspects, and overall will help build the economy. I compliment all the participants. As I can see at present, there are 100 participants, including me and all our participants, our organizers. So somewhere around 90 plus participants are there who are here to get some knowledge, get benefit of this 21 days training program. So I compliment you for choosing and for giving your time for these type of activities. And I assure you that our team is competent enough to make or to give you worth of your time. And that is how this whole training program has been designed. My colleague, Dr. Roman Sharma, he gave you an overview of different types of modules and different type of subjects that will be dealt with during these 21 days. And I'm very sure that they will be introducing you to the best of the people who can speak on different aspects. We already heard Ms. Arushi Jain from the industrial perspective, and you can appreciate the way she has presented the expectations of the industry, the aspirations of the industry, and the positivity and optimism of the industry from this maize group, from these people who are enthusiasts in the maize. Now, to some of the points might be repetition of what Dr. Ramesh Sharma or Dr. S.L. Jat has said earlier. We have seen that in the recent past, the growth rate of farmers' income has the growth rate. I'm talking of growth rate of the farmers' income, and this has come in the recent uh, one of the articles by one of the past Niti Aayog members, Dr. Chand. So he has given that the growth rate of farmers' income is more than the growth rate of many non-agricultural professions. That indicates that farmer are, that doesn't say that the income is more than the industry, but the industrial growth rate, the agricultural farmers' income growth rate is more than the industrial income growth rate in certain sectors. The major sectors which are there in which the income growth rate is more is horticulture sector, dairy, fisheries, and poultry. So these are some of the sectors where the growth rate is more. But in other segments, this may not be true. On the other hand, 85% of the agriculture is from the field crops, from the crops of what we call it cereals, pulses, oilseeds, and those field crops. So that constitutes to almost 85% of our agriculture. There, the growth rate among those crops, the fastest growth rate is in the maize. Other some of them, what I can think of is probably mushroom and makhana are the other competitors of maize. All you can see, all starting with M, who are having a good growth rate among the cropping other than dairy fisheries. But of course, makhana and mushroom can come within horticulture. So that way it is there. But nevertheless, maize is the fastest growing and among the field crops. Uh, this is because of remarkable productivity gain in last 1 decade and also area gain also. So area is also increasing, productivity is also increasing, and so has production increased. And if you talk of statistics, then in the last decade, the compounded annual growth rate in the maize has been 9.3%. Through which we have reached to the record high of 55 million tons during this year, which is a compliment to all the people, all the stakeholders of the maize. That includes scientists, that includes farmers, that includes the industry who has given the impetus to maize. And just now we heard the figures that if we see that 55 million tons is the production of maize in this year, and the industry says that we want 12 million ton for ethanol, 12 million ton for starch, so that goes somewhere around 40%. So 40% is demanded by ethanol and starch, and at present we are already consuming 60% for the feed. So if we assume that this feed portion 60% remains, and this 40% is demanded by the starch and ethanol industry, so the remaining industry doesn't get anything. Means this there is a demand pull. There could be a great demand pull, provided, as Ms. Jain said, that there is a competitive price. So if we can give competitive price, then there would be demand pull, and definitely that will give a very rosy picture for production of maize, production as well as handling and all the unit operations which are involved in maize. So productivity at present, we have somewhere around 3.1 to 5.7 tons per hectare, depending on season. And these are the national averages I'm talking. Somewhere roughly we can say 4 tons per hectare, which has a potential to go from 7.5 to 13 tons per hectare. So there is a huge potential. In case of Kharif, we can go from 3.1 to 7.5. That is almost, I can say, less than 3 times. And then in case of Rabi, again, almost doubling is possible. And we already have demonstrated that yields of 4.9 to 8.5 tons per hectare can be achieved. So this has been very successfully demonstrated during the trials that have been conducted under our supervision. So if appropriate technologies are used, if appropriate seed is used, if appropriate timings are done, then definitely these are some of the achievable figures that I think are very much possible. So what are the technological drivers, or what is the technological breakthrough that might cause these type of increase? So number one is hybrids or good quality seeds. Not only hybrids, but good quality seeds. So that is number one. And a very good quality seed at present, I believe that seed chain is already present in government sector as well as private sector. good quality seed is being provided. Although I am aware that the cost of seed is one of the prohibitive factors. And at Indian Institute of Maize Research, we are trying to work out with the technological as well as policy intervention that how can we help reduction in the seed prices so that the farmers are getting seed at a reasonable price. And we are also trying to see that development of technologies in such a way that the farmer themselves can grow their own seeds. So these are some of the interventions that we are looking for, and I am sure that during these 21 days we will be talking more on detailings of these type of interventions. So number one is the good quality seed reaching to the farmers, and then second comes is improved agronomic practices. So these improved agronomic practices includes land preparation. It includes the care during interculture operations. It includes the application of different agrochemicals. It includes application of water, appropriate type of water, and different type of technologies which are used for cultivation. It could be micro irrigation, or it could be some other kind of things also, depending on appropriate area, and depending on the ultimate use of the maize. So different technologies, and we will talk during these periods. Our experts will talk what are these different technologies. So improved agronomic practices is one of the most critical operations. Then afterwards, after this appropriate seed. The third thing that comes is appropriate mechanization. As we all know that the manpower in agriculture is reducing. 20 years ago, somewhere around 52% people were involved as an agriculture labor. Now it is somewhere around, sorry, it was 59 and now it is 39%. So within 20 years, almost 20% reduction in the manpower has occurred. And for that, for addressing that, we have to take resort of machinery so that we do all our operations within the stipulated time, so that we apply all our inputs to the appropriately required and in the precise manner, and we don't have any kind of wastage, so that cost of cultivation comes down, so that our operations, as I said, are done in timely manner. And when I say mechanization, I always add appropriate mechanization. We cannot say that using over mechanization, use of heavy machinery, that may not be applicable or that may not be feasible for Indian conditions. So use of appropriate machines through ownership or through custom hiring services. That this is another technological breakthrough that is going to help in reduction of the cost of cultivation as well as timely operation and increase of the yields. Then the fourth one that I can see here is the post-harvest care. We many a times we don't pay attention to the post-harvest. Farmers, they are just into the production, and after production, whatever post-harvest care has to be done. Whatever post-harvest value addition can be done, whatever type of operations can be done, so that the longevity of the crop increases, shelf life of the crop increases. Those type of things normally at the farm gate level are ignored, and that leads to loss of not only quantity but also quality of the product. So if we want that the farmer should have more income, if we want that their income should increase multifold, then definitely some of the post-harvest applications are imperative. And this post-harvest application, as Dr. Roman Sharma said, that we have a few lectures on different type of post-harvest applications. And then appropriate mechanization in post-harvest also. So these type of applications, I will talk a little bit more on some more things a little later. So these are the four breakthroughs or four technological pillars that are going to support the maize value chain. And as again and again, Dr. Roman Sharma has used the word value chain. So we have to see the whole value chain. And another issue that is coming out very prominently nowadays, that our rice production, rice wheat has been the major crops of India. And in northern India especially, people are advocating that to some extent rice can be replaced with maize. And it has been found that kharif maize, which can replace the rice, it helps in sustainability. So definitely that gives a good impetus and good reason for cultivation of maize and more cultivation of maize, bringing more area under maize. We should also remember one thing, that India is the having highest population of human as well as animal. So as I told you earlier, that 60% of maize is going towards feed. So since we have a huge number of animal population, so definitely feed requirement is there. And remember one thing, that maize gives a few good things, all starting with F. One is food, feed, fodder, fuel, fiber, and ultimately finance, money. Okay, so this way I'm trying to propose to you. I'm trying to convince to you people that those who are the stakeholders of maize, you people are going to be some of the prosperous people in the coming decade. And all these things, as Ms. Jain also said, that feed fodder, fuel, fiber, these are okay, but in food applications also. And you already know that our population is increasing. Our area is not going to increase. In fact, the arable area is reducing because of urbanization. So definitely we have to see to the different avenues of food, different staples. Rice and wheat have become staples. So we are looking at other kind of staples which are healthy, which are nutritious, and maize and millets are two candidates for this. And if we can include maize in our daily food, although when I am mostly, I spent my life in Madhya Pradesh. When I came to Punjab, I was attracted to the thought of makke ki roti. But after coming here, I found that makke ki roti is not the staple. It is just a recreation food for winters. Maybe once in 10-15 days, somebody makes it. So here also, this maize is not a staple food for people, and food technologists working in this group should make efforts so that there are a huge basket of food products available under the maize. Some of the products, I'm sure our scientist, Dr. Ankita, she might talk about, and some other scientists from CIFET might also be there. So they will also talk about some of the products which can be developed from maize, maybe quality protein maize or otherwise simple maize also. So once we have a big basket of maize products, like Mexico has many products which are made of maize, very popular products. So similarly, we need to have a big basket of food products. Then only maize consumption will increase, and then only we can justify that we are going to talk about maize in Indian economy from production to consumption. Coming to a few more points, when we talk of we talk of maize. Aflatoxins are one of the major issues. Drying of maize is one of the major issues. Water consumption of maize in summer and spring maize is one of the major issues associated with cultivation and post-harvest issues of maize. And then there are then there is an issue of valorization. I already told that maize is not only for food, feed, fiber, fuel, but food, feed, fodder, fuel, but also for fiber. we have to see that how we can make a complete value chain and how we can make a circular economy, maize-based circular economy, so that nothing goes waste. Everything that comes out from one process becomes an input for another process. So that type of research is required. Industry needs to come forward to support this type of research. Sitting in laboratory and conduct of research is one thing. Doing things at test tube level is one thing. But unless it is done at pilot level, unless it is demonstrable at industry level, people will not take our technologies. So those who are here from the research side, let me remind them that we have to see that our technology, especially post-harvest technologies, they are at a larger scale. They are demonstrable at a larger scale. These are the scalable technologies. Even at the seed development, we have to see that our seed development programs is scalable so that the seed can reach the people at an appropriate time. Even our other applications, our other agronomic practices, everything needs to be scalable. So for doing all these things, there are different type of government schemes. I'm sure Dr. Jat and his team has taken care that in one of the one or two lectures could be there on the different agriculture, different schemes of government of India or state government, which are applicable, which are appropriate for the farmers and also for the processors. They could be like RKVY or Agri Infrastructure Fund or Submission on Agriculture Mechanization, PM Kisan Sinchai Yojana, or Crop Residue Management, or Mission on Integrated Horticulture Development, PMFME, then National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture, and there are different state schemes also. So let us give some information on different types of schemes which could be used by entrepreneurs, which could be used by the startups, and which could be used even by the farmers for their own prosperity. Uh, I am very sanguine that this training would be a little bit flexible also. And based on your feedback, our team led by Dr. Jat will change some of the topics. We'll try to introduce experts which are not at present planned. And if some of you also can become a resource person. So if some of you can offer, just send a mail to Dr. Jad that I can talk on this particular topic. And if that is felt appropriate and if that is of a general nature, not a promotion kind of any for anybody, then I'm very sure that our team will like to include this. We are doing all these things with an aim of developing of human resource, because in the whole policy matters, the development of human resource is also one of the major agenda. And I'm very sure that through these small steps of human resource development, we will be able to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat. What Ms. Jain was saying of industrial nation, we call that Viksit Bharat. So we are very sanguine, and we are very much resolute to achieve the status of Viksit Bharat. And I'm very sure that maize will play a very pivotal role in this Viksit Bharat. We are thinking that maybe by 2047, if the whole economy becomes agriculture-based economy, reaches somewhere $6 trillion. So that is what we aspire for, and to reach to that level, I am very sure that maize will play a very vital and very important role. And I wish all of you a very fruitful period of these 21 days. Please interact. Please ask questions. Sometimes it is not possible to accommodate all the questions. You might put them on the chat, and our team will appropriately respond to each question. And I am very proud of my team from IIMR, who will be, I'm very sure that who will be able to respond to each and every of your questions, queries, and your observations. Thank you very much, all of you, and all the best to all of you.
Sir, thank you so much. So it's just doing, all the training and all other, how we can go for 21 days. We got a recipe for the success. And sir, we will try to meet your expectation as well as the expectation of all the participants, especially on making the presentations from the participant if anybody of them want, and some of the topics which we missed here and there, they can also be adjusted. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for blessing us with your address. Now I request Dr. Mamta Gupta to propose formal vote of thanks. Dr. Mamta Gupta, Senior Scientist and HRD Nodal Officer at IIMR. Dr. Mamta, please. Mamta is there.
Hello.
Yeah, we are audible. Please.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much, Director sir, for your address. And I will also thank to Dr. Eswazar for organizing this program to lead us. And I also thankful for the participants of this training program. Sir, I would also thank you, the Dr. Roman Sharma, Dr. Deep Mohan, and all the participants from the industry and KVKs and other organizing secretaries.
Madam Arusi Jain, madam, you have missed.
Yeah, you missed that. You missed
Okay,
Miss
okay.
Arushi
That's the
Jain.
Yes,
great.
yes, yes.
Our
And Miss
special
Arushi
guest
Jain.
today for that. Yeah.
So thank you very much for all of you. And we hope that we will organizing a better training program, and we will fulfill your all the requirements and the expectations from our training program. If we will, and we will get also your reviews to improve this program during the ongoing this training program. So thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mamta. Sir, madam, now you
Yes.
can also leave this platform, or you will be there. We will be having one lecture today, which will be delivered by myself, which is on the mass production requirement for Viksit Bharat 2047, progress and challenges and prospects. Okay. Thank you. Now we are able to get more than 100 participants. Thank you, Dr. Roman, for quick fixing the issues with our platform where we are unable to join, more number of participants. Thank you all. So I will be starting my presentation. Okay, with 1 minute. Let me share it. Just 1 minute. Okay. Hope my slides are visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, thank you so much, all the participants for keep on joining. We can put the message in the group that is still open, and now all the participants can join on this virtual platform. So basically, if we see Maize, Maize is able to contribute a significant into the ethanol production, what RUCG also highlighted and our director sir also highlighted. Because of that, our whole production value chain and the things have changed dramatically in last 3 years. So maize has contributed around 40% to the ethanol production from last year, and now this year also about 50% of the ethanol are being going to be from the maize. So based on that, we'll just go for some analysis of what kind of the production environment is there globally and what is there for India and what are different challenges. So we'll be covering in 30 minutes or so. If we see global maize utilization patterns, so renewable fuel association 2025 and FAO also given. So if you see this renewable fuel association has given there 52% of the total ethanol production is coming from USA, and then Brazil, and then India. Okay. So we have still a huge scope to increase our ethanol production capacity. You can see from this pie chart, which is field one. If you see from FAO projection where maize is going in 2023, 58% is going in the field and 20% in the process, which includes our ethanol production as well as starch production. Okay. And then food is 7%, other non-food usage is also 15%. In India also, we last year we had a production of around 43 million tons of production, and this year we are having projection of 55 million tons. Out of that, around 12.5 million tons already told that it is being used by the ethanol industries, and it is likely to go up to 20 million tons based on our policy environment. What kind of policy environment will be there? But I'm sure it is going to be there for 18 to 20 million tons. So government is thinking in the various direction by giving our ethanol policy or other policies. So presently, if you see the ethanol and other, we are using around 20 to 24% of the maize, and which is going to increase the share if we are able to produce more maize. So in 2030, our production requirement will be 65 to 75 million tons. So if we see the globally USA is the major producer of the maize, followed by China. China also come in very big headway, and you can see this is the largest producing commodity in the world. So we are having maximum production of maize in the world. So it is around 1200 million tons. Next commodity which is being produced in India is or the globally is rice or wheat, which is around 800 million tons only. Okay. So we can see how much more maize is being produced because of the industry and because of the utilization in industry. We can analyze more maize in the industrial valorization for different purposes. We are going to have one lecture also. So it is being utilized in various industries, including your pharmaceutical industries, cloth making industries, paper industries, and industries which we are unable to think. So bioplastic industries is going to come with big wave. So globally, if we see the productivity of this particular crop is around 5.8 million tons. Okay. Whereas in India now we are having 3.8 million tons this year. This was previous year around 36 tons, 3.6 tons. So we can say our productivity we have still scope to increase. That also we'll see. So these are the challenges are there. We are having low productivity, but we have also opportunity to increase its productivity and go for the further. So India is also coming in big way, and now so it was in the 5th or 6th place. Now we came on the 4th place. So hopefully we will be going for the requirement. If you see in 2047, various estimates are there based on the business as usual and high economic growth. Even we are having business as usual, our production requirement will be 80 to 86 million tons. Many of you might be thinking that why it is going to have 80 to 86 million tons, whereas if you might have heard in the newspaper that rice production is sufficient, 8% whatever is there. We will be requiring around 125 million tons of the rice for feeding our population, or which is requirement of rice for our 2047. So we have already achieved the target of some crops in 2047, what is going to be you have in present. But why not in maize? Because maize is going to be used in the industry, and those industries, if you see, like poultry feed or animal feed or starch or bioethanol per se. So their growth rate, the bioethanol totally policy dependent, but for other industries, the growth rate is around 8 to 10% or plus. Okay, because of the changing in our social pattern, because of change in our food patterns, because more of the your people are coming into the urban area and other things. Okay, so there are, last day only estimates came that the India have around 85% urban areas, urban population. So now we are going to change our urban population statement also, how we are considering urban or the rural. Okay, so the definition we need to change based on the amenities that are being provided. Even the small rural towns are there, they will also become. So that's why we are going to have more demand for maize in the future. And if you see the business as usual is not working, we know already our maize production was, we will be requiring around 45 million tons by 2030. But you see our requirement is 20 million ton plus. So we require 65 million tons or 70 million tons based on our other industry demand plus additional demand which came from the ethanol. So we will be requiring around 110 million tons of the maize by 2047. But if you see how far we came, if you see the growth trajectory for maize started picking up after 2001, or you can say 2011, and you can see the how much this orange bar shows the how much production has got increased. So in 2025-6, our latest production estimates came is 55 million tons. Okay, so if you see these 55 million tons is just double of the what we were producing in the 2010 or something. Okay, so more than double production we could able to get in the 15 years. Okay, so there are enormous growth potential in this particular crop per se, and not only production, but the enormous potential in the utilization. As Rahul Siji was also rightly saying that maize production will decide what kind of the country you are having, industrially progressive country we are having, or other kind of. So it has potential to increase the industrialization. It has potential to increase the our urbanage means employment generations and other things. So steadily we have progress for enhancing our production as well as productivity. You can see the productivity, not only the production, but productivity also we could able to get almost double in 15 or 16 years of time. Okay, so there is good potential that we can aim and target more than 5 million 5 tons of the productivity in by 2047 with the help of technology and others. So the growth has happened in both the seasons, Kharif season as well as in Rabi season. If somebody asks our productivity is low, you see, we have started from 500 or 700 kg. Okay, then in came between around 1200 kg or something. Okay, and 2011 we were having around 1500 or 1800 kg, and now we are having around more than 29 100 or 3000 kg per hectares of the productivity. Okay, so basically our productivity potential has got increased significantly in the rainy season. If somebody tells still challenges are there, we know because of the rain-fed crop, we got various things will be coming in the next slides. But still we have progressed a lot in the rain-fed crops, and rain-fed crop is going to have a sustainable production because this crop requires less resources. Our director said also highlighted that we don't want to use another rice crop like string maize. Some people are using more of the maize, more water for production of maize. So that kind of thing we don't want to go. So Kharif maize will be the foundation for sustainable maize production in the country, and we are committed for that. And there are challenges of the weed, there are challenges of waterlogging, there are challenges of drought, there are challenges of the insect, pest, and diseases. In spite of that, we are going to overcome those challenges, and we are going to have the higher productivity and production in the times to come. And how we are going to come, that we will discuss in the next slides. But in the Rabi season maize, you see it has contributed significantly for the productivity enhancement, overall national productivity enhancement in our country. Okay. And here also, if you see, the productivity was not that much high, but now we are able to have the productivity this year. It's a global average. So global average productivity we could able to achieve. And globally, if you see the USA, which is, and China, which are they having highest share in the productivity production of the maize, they are just heading the global maize productivity to high. Okay, and they are able to create more dent on the global maize productivity, right? And they are having the season which is like Rabi maize of the India. So we are having Rabi maize productivity of around 577 tons this year, and which is equivalent to. So you see, the maize has progressed in Kharif area as well as Kharif yield significantly during 97 to 2023. Also, Rabi area and Rabi yield significantly, and it has now become the pan-India crop. Okay, where the maize is being grown across the India. Okay, and high productivity districts are also increasing in the both the season, Kharif as well as Rabi seasons. So you can see the western side, we are having higher productivity both in the Kharif, the eastern side. So eastern side, we are having very high productivity zone in the both Kharif as well as Rabi season. Ravinderji, please don't scratch on the slides. It just yellow marks are coming. Okay, major things comes most of the time why productivity differs. Okay, so if you see the Kharif area is also increasing, Rabi area is also increasing, then the spring has come, the spring area is also increasing. But if you see the productivity difference is very high, you see we have compared below the bar graph shows that there is significant difference between the Kharif versus Rabi to spring. Okay. The productivity differs basically when we are growing maize in the rain-fed versus irrigated situation. In rain-fed also, you see there are certain favorable rain-fed states are there like Madhya Pradesh or some of the other states, Jharkhand and others, where we are getting good amount of the rain, and some are non-favorable rain-fed area are also there, which also has in the most of the in the Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So their productivity level is somewhat different as compared to the irrigated and not well rain-fed. Okay, so we are having good rain-fed as well as the rain-fed which are not having the sufficient, so insufficient rain-fed kind of the ecology, and then irrigated ecology. So irrigated ecology, if you see our productivity potential is more than 5 tons average. Okay, we are having certain districts in our country which are having productivity of more than 10 tons or so. So whole district productivity is more than 10 tons like Guntur, East Godavari, West Godavari, then Khagadia, then our Uttar Dinajpur, okay, and Kishanganj. So many districts are there where our productivity of the district average is 10. So basically it is rain-fed versus irrigated. Then duration. If you see in the Kharif season, the duration is around 100 days. Okay. Whereas in Rabi season, the duration is 140 to 150 days. So you see the more the duration, more will be the productivity. Okay. And we in the Kharif season, we also get sometimes, cloud coverage. Because of the cloud coverage, there will be more disease and pest incidents, and also there will be lesser photosynthesis available. So because of that also, your Kharif seasons lesser duration with stress on the photosynthesis. Whereas in the spring season, if you see, very good sunshine is there. You can see the very beautiful crop coming in the spring season or summer season because of no limitation of sunshine. Whenever water is required, we are giving. In the rain-fed, what happened? Waterlogging is there, drought is there. In the same season, waterlogging is also there. Same season, your drought is also there. So okay. So because of both reasons, our rain-feds are based on the monsoon, and this tropical monsoon sometimes giving very high rains, sometimes it is giving very less rains. So it is attracting more insect, pest and diseases also. Because of that also, our productivity is low. And the weed pressure. If we see the weeds, they are coming in very big way. We are having 3 to 4 pluses of weeds in the rainy season in 100 days versus the other seasons. In the spring season, the problem is very less. Rabi season, we have moderate problem. So Kharif season is totally by the stress of the weeds, insect disease, and moisture stress. Okay. So we need to see the season in that particular perspective. Then we have to reduce these stresses to improve the productivity of this particular season. So temperature basically plays a very important role. So if you are having moderate temperature of 20 to 30 degree, your productivity of maize crop will be excellent. If you are having less than 20 or more than 30, the productivity will be slightly different. Okay. So waterlogging drought, I already highlighted. And then technology adoption. If you see the whole of the Rabi season, we are having, or spring season, 100% single cross hybrids. Okay. And that's making the big difference because the farmers are able to invest more money in the technology. They are able to go for the better technology adoption. If you see in the other seeds, single cross or other seeds available in the market, you see the in rainy season prices varies from 200 to 400 or 500. But if you see in the Rabi season, the prices of the seed will be 400 to 600 or 700 per kg. And spring season further high. Still the farmers are buying because they value the technology and they are able to purchase it and they are able to make it. Even if you give free seed, it's our experience, they will not have it. Okay. So if you see all the productions and productivity, now we are breaking records, but how long we can go? You can see there is also variable response of different type of cones. Many times people say we want dent cone, flint cone, semi-dent, semi-flint. So we had surveyed the market and around 7% of the maize is dent and which is finding pellets in the spring season. And we are having 36% maize is semi-dent. Actually, dent is maize which is commonly grown in the USA and it is long duration, having disease susceptibility and high temperature susceptibility. Okay, so you can not have a dent in the rainy season and grow it successfully and match with the productivity. Okay, but you can have semi-dent or semi-flint. Okay, flint is a maize which is being grown in the tropical region. So flint is tropical maize. Dent is our temperate maize. Okay, so we made a cross of this dent with semi-dent, dent versus flint and flint to dent, and then we could our breeders have come with the varieties which are high yielding but having the features of high temperature tolerance, disease tolerance, insect tolerance. Okay, so which is can be fitted better to the maize ecology region. So that's why we are having different kind of the germplasm or variety coming and responding in different seasons. Rabi season, semi-dent and semi-flint are quite common. Kharif season, semi-flint, flint and semi-dents are also there. Even dents are finding in the Himalayan ecology, very good yield their dent is giving because in Himalayan regions, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, we are having cooler climatic conditions as compared to the other regions. Okay, so here we need to do increase our selling percentage or more endosperm into it means more starch or bolder grains. If you are there, they will be having very high starch. We should have very deep kernels so that we can able to get the more yields. Okay, and the solution is you go for temperate versus tropical process. So I was just mentioning there is very statewide variation across the season. If you see in the Kharif season, the productivity varies from 6 ton to less than 2 tons or less than 1500 kg. So if top 5 state also you have Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Assam, and West Bengal. You see Punjab, and there are certain states. We are having around 6, 7 states having productivity of more than 4 tons. Some states are having like UP is a very big state, and Rajasthan is also big state. Maharashtra is a big state. Karnataka, even if see the productivity is less than 3 tons or around 3 tons only in Karnataka, which is big concern, and we can learn from the different states because the climate here is playing big role and then water requirements. Sometimes what happens retreating monsoon most of the times it is affecting the Karnataka maize productivity or Maharashtra maize productivity very high. Likewise, we are having wide variation in the Rabi season productivity. If you see the Andhra Pradesh, which is around Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, sometimes West Bengal, sometime Andhra Pradesh coming on the top, where the states like Rajasthan or Telangana, they are having very less productivity. Okay. Similarly, in the spring also we are having wide variation in West Bengal or Bihar or Assam. The spring crop is coming in a very big way. The productivity of spring crop is coming one of the highest among the whatever we are trying. So now the Rabi season is also somewhat shifting to the spring season, and Rabi season whatever people were growing, they are just shifting to small catch crops also. So that's a good sign. We could able to have the maize as well as other crops through the intensifications. So our kharif acreage is growing nicely, but in some of the states, if you see like MP and other places, there is concern of replacing oilseed and pulses, but it's very quite small area. If I just want to put before you that rice area has been increased around 3 million tons, 3 million hectares, and maize area also increased by 1 million hectare. Okay, during the same period, you see, that nobody talks about the rice, why rice is increasing. Okay, only they talk about the other crops which is increasing. But you see, the maize has a place to find in the very intensification, crop intensification. Just now I tried the example of the Bengal or Bihar, where you are taking one catch crop, then you are going for maize in Assam for the sake. So you see, the acreage is also going in rice, acreage is also going in maize. So this is how our pathways could be for 2047, how we can go for. We can go for the around 1 lakh hectare or 4 lakh hectares of the rice replacement with the kharif maize in the Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP and other adjoining areas. And then replacement of upland paddy in the southern plateau and hills and as well as the eastern plateau and hills regions. We will just show some of the data where you can generate the confidence of the stakeholder, and we can target easily around 40 quintals or even 40 quintals plus yield in the Kharif season. In the Rabi season, our yield should be 65 to 70 quintals plus by targeting single cross hybrids, best management practices, and mechanization. Okay, so if you see the food security issues by this way will be coming around, we will be having 1 million ton less upland paddy production, 4 million tons less Western IGP product production. So 5 million tons paddy production will be less. But nevertheless, I already narrated that the paddy production in our country is already high. It's very high water demanding. We are having 3,000 liters of water consumption for 1 kg of the paddy production versus around 600 to 800 liters of the water used in maize production. Okay. So we can have rice yield increase by adopting technology like hybrids or when genome edited rice already in the place. We can offset the rice production by this. We can also having rice export at 20 to 25 million tons. That can also be thought of what we can go. Okay, so we can tap the rice fellows in the Eastern India around 1 million hectare, Eastern India upland paddy, then Western IGP, non-basmati crop, 10% of the non-basmati crop, which is around 4 lakh hectares. Then we can also have many crops that can be intercropped with the maize, including all vegetables, including all pulses, oil seeds, and many other crops can be successfully intercropped with the maize. However, there are many challenges on the maize production fronts, like climatic stress by 2047, what we can have, or resource pressures. Climatic stress, I already narrated drought, flood, and heat waves. This year, El Nino or Super El Nino, that kind of things are coming. So our 65, around say 60% or 65% of the maize production is on the stakes Out of that, if you see unfavorable rainfall, which is coming around 20 to 30%, which is going to affect more as compared to the others. Then resource pressures, water and soil degradation. If you see the soils or water is limited, for sustainability point of view, we have to go for the sustainable production practices like utilization of drip irrigations. We have to go for effective residue management, so the carbon goes in the fields. Many times we people told that maize is a nutrient exhaustive crop. It's not nutrient exhaustive crop. The study shows that after rice, if you take any other crop, and after maize you take any other crops, the other second crop will be better after the maize as compared to the rice. Okay, so we got around 10 to 15% of yield enhancement in wheat when we grow after the maize. So that issue will be there, but definitely this is the nutrient responsive crop, not nutrient exhaustive crop. Where if you apply nutrient, you will get more productivity, not loss, because it is bearing its fruit on its middle part or stomach, you can say. It is not bearing its fruit on the head, so it will lose. Okay, so it can bear more fruits when we are having more resources. And then pest and diseases like fall armyworm, already a big stress, and many other diseases may also comes like polio disease, some of the star roads that we'll be talking in the next classes. Then small farmers are often struggles for the technology adoptions. Like if you see the now we are going for what you call pneumatic planter, but the pneumatic planter is not going to integrate with the small farmers because they cannot afford to give 6,000 rupees, 6 lakh rupees for a new egg planter to come. But it has value of the people, and now entrepreneurs are coming into it. They are not able to have the input access and the access to the credit. Many times they are not able to give the proper input and care to the maize, so they are not able to get the reliable productivity. Now we get industrial utilization. We have aflatoxin contamination. I'm sorry for the spelling mistake. Then here you see which is the biggest concern for utilization in the feed industry as well as ethanol industry. In the ethanol industry, we also get the DDGS. If it has the aflatoxin, we are unable to dispose it off. When we are unable to dispose it off at the good prices, our whole of the ethanol value chain is under stake. Okay, so we have to use our non-aflatoxin contaminated our maize, which is the biggest concern, especially in the area where the maize drying is not that much good, and temperature falls in the month of October when the maize is harvested. People are not that much friendly or not that much aware or not having that much facility for drying the maize, and we are not having the scale appropriate mechanism as our director sir was telling. We have installed silo dryers which has capacity of 20 tons or so. So all farmer doesn't have 20 tons. They are having different kind of somebody is having 1 ton of production, somebody 2 tons of production, somebody will come with 16% moisture, somebody will come with 20, some with 24% moisture. Then how we can go for mixing it and dry in the 20 tons of the dryers? So continuous kind of the drying facilities or some kind of the other models will needs to be developed, which is going to be a big challenge for India when we are achieving in 2047. And drying inefficiencies, there are various methods are there where we can go for in situ drying by cob exposures. We can go for detopping and feeding it to the cattle, so our green fodders that will be also discussed in the next class. And then storage gaps, this big silos and packages. If you see the silos installation, if you see USA model, they harvest the maize, they dry and then put in the silos. So harvesting, drying, and in siling. So these are the all linked practices. But in our practices, we'll go for harvesting, then marketing. No in between anything. In marketing, they will go for stacking it. They are not having that much facility. So at aggregator level or FPO level or any other levels, the people also can come with the dryers. Now many innovative dryers have also come across the India. Some are coming from Punjab, some from the Gujarat, some are from the other places. those kind of the dryers are now finding place, and people are just telling that you can dry your maize efficiently. You can see many of the videos now coming because the people got that there is a business opportunity and that they're grabbing it. Okay. And then weak value chain, our forecasting and market hurdles are not that much good. So people are unable to plan what kind of, how much maize we need to grow, what kind of maize will be in the demand. So our market intelligence and market information systems are weak at present, especially for the agri commodity is concerned. Okay. So this is making our hurdles, and this will be challenges to be addressed. Nevertheless, we are having high yield gaps, and across the seasons, by various practices, we can fill those gaps. Okay, and if you see in the Kharif season, okay, so we have potential for from
So can
current
you
productivity to potential. Hello. Okay. Yeah,
so
we are finishing in 5 minutes. 5 minutes or so, we are going to finish it. Okay. So our current Kharif maize productivity, as I told, is around 3 tons. We have potential to go up to 5. From Rabi and Spring, we have potential to go up to 8. So our productivity will be, 6 tons from the current. And for different states, if you see, we have large potential to improve the productivity in Bihar, Gujarat, as well as Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. Okay. And it is, if you see the Kharif maize production and productivity is products, if you see around 13 lakh hectares is less than 2.5 tons. 2.5 to 3.5 tons is 64 lakh hectares. And more than 3.5 tons is only 7 lakh. So our mid productivity of 2.5 to 3.5, we have to come in the higher bucket. Then only we could able to go for achieving the higher productivity. If we see the zone wise, Northern Hill Zone and Northeastern Plain Zone as well as the Central Western Zone. These are the 3 zones which is bringing the national productivity to low, and we can improve this national productivity. You can see the greener areas. We can, if we increase more number of the greener areas, our productivity is going to come more high. So here the technology adoption as well as providing supplemental irrigation, and then we can go for the better weed management, pest management, and planting on the crop on the ridges or raised bed planting. These are the 3 4 important factors which can decide how we can go for improving our maize productivity in rainy season. And also in the Rabi season, we also want to create more greener areas by adoption of the technology, timely planting, and better weed and nutrient management along with the water management using drip fertigation. So drip fertigation, in my opinion, it's going to be a big jump for providing more number of the fertilizer scheduling. You can give 10 times fertilizers to the crops, very small amount. Efficiency of water will be high, efficiency of nutrient will be high, and productivity also we can target very high. So for bridging yield gaps, we have various high yielding stress tolerant hybrid, then adoption of the sowing window based on the different seasons, then optimum plant population, which is biggest concern in the rainy seasons. We are having very less amount of the plant population. Plant population, many of the farmers will hardly it crosses 40 to 50,000 per hectare. And this is the main reason. And for that, we have to go for best planting practices, various other kind of the practices, balanced nutrient management, effective pest disease management, then moisture management, where we can go for supplemental irrigation, drainage, and moisture conservation, planting on ridge, furrow, or bed planting as already narrated, then capacity building is required. So our All India Coordinated Network projects, we are having around 60 centers working across the countries, 32 are regular centers, and our IMR with the all three stations at Begusrai, Hyderabad, and it's trying to have the high productivity and better maize-led ecosystem. And this is the project where the most of the industry and from input industry from seed as well as the agrochemicals as well as the utilizing industries of the starch and others are participating. And you can see here the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, they funded this project, and we are implementing in about 100 districts. And you can see the average kharif productivity and maximum productivity is very high gap. You can go for this much potential is there. You can see in the Karnataka we could able to go for 8.9, and nowhere we are less than most of the time we could able to get for 7 tons or plus. Okay. Yeah, and even if you see the UP, the productivity is 3 times what we are having now. Okay. So in Rabi season also likewise we could able to get more productivity as compared to the state seasons, maximum as well as average. Spring also there is a good chances for improving the productivity in UP, Uttarakhand, and as well as West Bengal also. So if you see the various seasons, May 6 to 8 tons of the productivity is coming in the rainy seasons. Bed planting or pneumatic planting or roller planting is coming very good. Here also in the Rabi season also their planting methods is playing very important roles. Pneumatic planter is ensuring more number of plant population or better plant population where you did not to go for thinning and yeah. Then other practices, right? Here you see the effect of planting practices like raised bed planting, pneumatic planting. They are giving very high yield as compared to when we are going for flat kind or broadcasting or another kind of planting methods. And late Rabi or the Rabi season, October to November, it's a very high yielding. Then I told spring season, it's coming still higher yielding at the farmer field when we surveyed around 5,000 plus farmers. So spring is coming very big way and it's going to change the whole production ecosystem. But water consumption is an issue highlighted by our director. We need to go for these drip fertigations. Likewise, if you might have noticed, we could able to get the golden grains in Assam. Here, the production area, productivity, everything got increased within 2 years of spans, and that shows the how we can capitalize our rice fellows, which we are talking, because rice fellows start vacating from November to December to January to February. Okay, so farmer has left no option to grow like pulses like chickpea or lentil in those circumstances. So 12 million hectare rice fellows are there. If we are able to have 2 to 3 million hectare, which are late rice fellows, we can say in November, December or January they are vacating. You can utilize for the maize purpose, and other rice fellows which are vacating untimely, you can utilize for mustard, chickpea, and lentil or pea purposes. And diversification of seed production sites as our effort shows that we can achieve a much higher yield and productivity if you are adopting the seed production sites. Like you can see in recent past, West Bengal, which has the highest penetration of the public bracket hybrid and able to get the good productivity. So what I mean to say, there is no limits for the public and private. There are enough opportunity for the public as enough opportunity for private sectors to go further and providing multiple sites for seed production, because our seed production at present in the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, which is likely to have the effect of the cyclone or any other disease pest, then we will be nowhere. So we need to diversify it. We are also trying in Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Punjab for the same. Our directors have already told about it. Okay, so likewise, our diversification equivalent shows that we can have around 8.35 tons of the productivity of the rainy season maize in the Western IGP. And in Odisha and Eastern India, we have shown Bengal and other places. The maize productivity is very high as compared to our rainy season upland paddy. Okay, so here you can increase the yield, then it will increase the profit, and then we can go for the acreage expansion of the upland paddy, which is not that much rewarding to the farmers at present. We can also think of some of the intercropping system which are very innovative, like sugarcane maize intercropping system finding place in the Maharashtra and elsewhere in the country. In UP also we have demonstrated, and you can feel like I was talking about in situ drying. You can see the last pictures where the crops are being dried in the field itself. You can go for cutting this at the age of 90 to 100 days when your tilling in the sugarcane starts. So you can provide the around 50 to 70% of the populations of the maize can be integrated with the sugarcane, whatever practices you are doing, and you can have your maize in the vicinity of the 12 feed industries which are based on the sugarcane. So this is the strength of maize, that it has highest potential, less water requirement, multi-season crop, wider adaptability, climate resilient technologies, because it's a C4 plant, and we are having hybrid mechanization, efficient weed management, but we are having weaknesses where monsoon dependent and stable marketing and pricing are not there. We are not having perfect market or that kind of system. So there will be up and downs in this market supply as well as demand. Lesser hybrid coverage, we are having around 70% coverage under hybrids. We need to increase quality seed availability at the local production sites. Infrastructure of drying is also our weakness. Then DDGS, which is the byproduct for the ethanol industries, and the aflatoxin contamination is a big issue. Nevertheless, we are having a lot of opportunities for increasing hybrid coverage from 20%, which is still unattended. Productivity, we can target around Kharif 5 tons, Rabi 8 tons plus, upselling best practices of weed, nutrient, and then our pest management, acreage expansions in the whatever we invested in the last slides, high ethanol recovery hybrids, DDGS quality improvement, and then diverse use for sustainability like corn oil, feed, processed foods, bioethanol. Then we are also having chances for making it a crop for circular economy where we can go for CBG, because maize CBG is high recovery as I interacted with various industries as compared to the rice plants. And then bioenergy, and lastly the bioplastic. We have the polylactic acid made from the starch of the maize, and now we are happy that India is going to install its first plant at the Balrampur sugar mills with the investment of around 500 CR. Okay, so we are going to have bioplastic, and that plastic will have the strength like pen I am holding or any other plastic which can be. So it will be biodegradable. Then we are also having chances of 2G ethanol from biomass. Then crude oil, which is importing. Now we can have the import substitution. All of us might have noticed during the period of this global volatilization of Iran and US war, we were not able to have that much enhancement in our oil prices, and one of the factor could be our 20% ethanol blending what we are doing. Okay, so we are having trades like feed crisis, okay, climate change, weed and pest, price stability of the maize, ethanol, DDGS, and all other volatile products which is being used is efficient. So we need to think in that particular directions based on this. Thank you very much, all of you. We have to grow, not only maize, but maize with the chickpea, then sugar canes. Okay, so that we can have the more sustainable crops and cropping systems in place, which will be sustainable point of view, like less water consuming, more soil health improvement kind of things, and having more of the generation of the bioresources by use of maize. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You have already set the tone for this 21 this training program, sir. And your session covered a wide range of topics and provided an excellent foundation for the participants, sir. And we are grateful for your valuable insight and contribution, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, any pressing questions? We can take one or two, or on the chat we can see. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Ji.
Myself, Janaki Raman from Tamil
I
Nadu.
am Dhananjay Tiwari from
Sir, please, just
Rohtas
you,
district of Bihar. Sir.
Dhananjay Ji,
There is a
just
sir
go for
fall
hand raise. Please go for hand raise, and we will be calling
army
one
one
by one.
problem.
Yeah, Dhananjay ji, fall armyworm is a big problem. Everybody knows. Sometimes it's a lesser, sometimes it's a more. So we are trying for various means. One is from our genetic enhancement, where you go for the high productivity hybrid, then our seed treatment and various other practices. So there will be dedicated 1 or 2 lectures will be there for the fall armyworm management. Not only from our Indian Institute of Maize Research, but from the private sector also, how we can manage it effectively. So at present, we are having our integrated pest management modules, which can, guide for the having fall. Yes. Somebody was from Tamil Nadu?
Yes, myself, Dr. V. Janaki Raman,
Yeah.
sir.
Janiraman Agriculture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What about that virtual water for maize?
Virtual water.
Yes.
Yeah, virtual water is the same story which comes with the rice, sir. So rice we are exporting around 3,000, whatever, it depends on the whatever kind of the environment we are growing maize. Okay, rice in different ecologies. So if we see 3,000 liters of the water which is going with the rice, we will be going around 600 to 800. You can you take the maximum 800 liter of the water with 1 kg of the maize. So as soon as we increase the productivity of the maize, also we go for the application of the, like, maize is friendly for the micro irrigation, especially for drip irrigation. So you can go for drip irrigation and others. We have still scope to reduce those water footprints.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Roman, we can close it. I don't know. There is pressing questions there in the chat box. Okay, we can close the meeting. We will be meeting tomorrow evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.